We will wait for 5 minutes. Let all the students join. Then we will start. My voice is audible to all. My voice is audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We will wait for another 3 4 minutes and then we will start. Okay. So today we will start pre-stressed concrete. So this is from the what we can say. This is your second section, unit number one. We have completed staircases and isolated footing from section one. Your unit number three is the retaining wall and then water tank that we will cover later on. Okay, those design steps are lengthy and it requires to understand some critical design procedure. So once we go through these topics, then it will be easier for you to understand that also. Okay, so now for today, we will start with the surface stress concrete, second section, unit number one, and then we will complete the second section, and then we will complete those two remaining units. Okay, so now I will share the screen. Okay, so pre-stressed concrete. Pre-stressed concrete. Introduction to pre-stressed concrete that we are going to see over here in this unit. What is the pre-stressed concrete and why we use this pre-stressed concrete? So first of all, you need to understand what is our normal concrete. Normal concrete, you know that you take cement, water, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, some proportions, the grade which you want to prepare. In that proportions, you take these all, and you the mixture which is formed that we call that as a concrete. That is, it may be M20 concrete, M15 concrete, or any other concrete depending upon the mix design. Okay, so this concrete, whenever we construct a member, okay, whenever we construct a member which is like beam, column, footing, slab, we use this concrete along with the steel. Okay, so what is the role of this concrete? The role of this concrete is to take the generally to take the compressive stresses and compressive forces which are coming on the structure. Okay, concrete is very strong in compression, you know that. Okay. We can easily do the mixed design, or we can achieve the strength of the concrete more than 40 Newton per mm square. Okay, and we along with concrete we place the steel reinforcement. Okay, so we place the steel bars at the bottom of the beam. If I draw the diagram over here, if I draw the diagram, see, suppose this is your beam. Now what we generally do, we place the steel reinforcement. Okay, so here is our steel reinforcement at the bottom of the beam as well as at the top of the beam. But top of the beam, whatever steel we provide, we don't design that steel for bending moment. That steel is provided generally 2 bars of 10 mm diameter or 2 bars of 12 mm diameter at top. This generally we provide. Okay, why do we provide this? Because it is given in the IS code. Okay, earthquake IS code. So in that IS code, I don't remember exactly the clause number, but one of the clauses there which says that you have to place the steel minimum of 2 bars of 10 mm diameter at the top of the beam. Okay, for the anchorage purpose and for the resisting the earthquake forces. So this is our normal structure, a normal beam we are talking about, and this is the whatever say, this is the steel reinforcement. This we design for the bending moment. We calculate the bending moment. It may be WL square by 8, or it may be by using any other formula depending upon the type of the beam and boundary conditions. We calculate that bending moment, and after the calculation of bending moment, what we generally do, we use the formula of area of steel. You know that big formula, AST is equal to, okay, and from that we provide this number of parts. And these steel are and concrete are act together. Okay, so here concrete is there. Okay, we show the concrete in this way. So this is the concrete and steel. Okay, so this is our normal member. This is our normal concrete. Okay. Now, what is the pre-stressed concrete and why there is a need of pre-stressed concrete? So I will just tell you first what is the pre-stressed concrete. So pre-stressed concrete is a concrete in which this bar, you see this bar, okay, the reinforcing bar. Okay, this is called as tendon. The one another name to this is as tendon. We generally call this as a bar. Okay, or this is also called as tendon in whenever we speak about the pre-stressed concrete. So this tendon or this bar, this is given the stresses, or this is given the forces applied under the stress by using the different gauges. Okay, and that stresses are produced in this concrete in a such a way that whatever the stresses are developed due to the downward loads, the developed stresses are counteracting those stresses. I will repeat once again. Stress concrete is a concrete in which the stresses are introduced. Okay, listen carefully. The stress concrete is a concrete in which the stresses are introduced in a planned manner. Okay, in planned manner, in a such a way that it counteracts the stresses generated due to the loading. Okay, now if you see, this is the beam. This type of loading may be there on this beam. Okay, this types of load may be acting. It may be point load, it may be UDL. Now what will happen due to these types of load? There will be the direct stress, and there will be also bending stress is also there. Okay, direct stress is also there and bending stress is also there. So to counteract these stresses, what we do, we introduce the stresses in a concrete in a planned manner in a such a way that that stress will counteract this stress due to loading. Then how that stress is introduced, what is the method, what is the procedure, what is the system, that we will see later. Just for the introduction, I am telling you pre-stress. What is the meaning of pre-stress concrete? Pre is a different word, stress is the different. Pre-stress म्हणजे काय? So right from the start, you have given the stress to that concrete already. Okay. So we introduce the stress in the concrete. in such a way that that stress counters the stress due to the loading. So this is nothing but the pre-stress concrete. Okay. So first of all, we will do some writing things, normal things, what we do, syllabus, and then central idea of the chapter, importance of the chapter, and then we will move further. Okay. So here, first of all, syllabus. So here, what is given? The introduction to pre-stressed concrete. Introduction to pre-stressed concrete. Then different types of systems of pre-stressing. Then the different types of systems of pre-stressing. There are different types of systems of pre-stressing. The classification of pre-stressed concrete is done on various bases, that is external pre-stressing, internal pre-stressing, then linear pre-stressing, circular pre-stressing is also there, then pre-tensioning, post-tensioning is also there, and then in that different systems are there. Different scientists have invented different systems. So in this unit, we are going to see that what is exactly the pre-stressed concrete and why this pre-stressed concrete is required. What is the problem in our normal concrete? That we will see in first 2 3 4 points, and then we will see that what are the different systems of pre-stressing. Okay, why this pre-stressing is required? What are the different systems? So in that now, basically, classification of pre-stressed concrete is done among pre-tensioning system and post-tensioning system. Okay. So again, in the pre-tensioning system, we are going to study the Hoyer system, or that is also called as long line method. System and method one and the same thing. Okay. So that is called as the long line method. So Hoyer system that we are going to study. Hoyer is a name of a scientist. He invented that system. That is why it is known as the Hoyer system. Similarly, we are going to see 2 3 systems in the post-tensioning also. That is Gifford-Udall system and Freycinet system, etc. 2 3 systems are there that we are going to see over here. Okay, so this topic, whatever now we are going to see, this is a purely theoretical topic. Okay, so in the examination, if the examination is online, offline, still we don't know, but if the offline examination is conducted, then in that you will get the questions from this topic in the MCQs. Okay, only in the MCQs. There is no design and nothing we are going to do in this unit. This is just a theoretical unit, which we will try to understand what is the pre-stress and what is the different types of pre-stress. Okay. So here, book recommended from my side for this pre-stress concrete is Ramamrutam. Okay, book you can use. Book if you want, you can use Ramamrutam. It is very good book. Okay, Ramamrutam. Okay, that book is good. Very much in detail, the pre-stress concrete is covered in that. So this is the syllabus. Then next is the central idea of the chapter. Now, what is the idea of this chapter? So, idea of this chapter is now you are a final year student, so you should know that what is the advance there in the what are the advancement is there and what types of concretes are widely used while the higher big huge in the huge constructions like huge bridges, huge water tanks. Okay, sometimes the huge circular water tanks, what type of concrete is used. It is not normal concrete which is used, or where the bridges you have seen nowadays, the big bridges, There is no normal concrete is not here. So the central idea of this chapter is you should you are going to introduce to this different concrete, that is the pre-stressed concrete. Okay. So here the central idea is, so you can copy it down with me. Central idea, central idea of the chapter is to get introduced with pre-stressed concrete, pre-stressed concrete, and various types of systems of pre-stressing, various types of systems of pre-stressing. So this is the idea behind this unit. Okay. And here the another idea is that now if you see our all the units, now in all the units we are having only design. Some particular design component is there, some part is there, that is the member is there, or anything, column, beam. Column is not there, but column was there in DCS1. Beam, then uh, staircase, footing, retaining wall, water tank, and stress concrete members. So normally we are doing design and analysis, all these things in every unit. So this unit is especially the theoretical unit. In this unit, you will come to know the theory behind this stress concrete. So that in the all the next units are depending upon this. Okay, so once you understand what is stress concrete, then it is very easier for you to understand the other units, next upcoming units. Okay, so now moving further on this note, this is the central idea of the chapter. Next is the importance of chapter. Okay, so why this chapter is important? So basically, what I want to tell you, in the large structure, that is, if you see a bridge, suppose a heavy bridge is there, large bridge is there. Okay, suppose now a bridge is there on which 4-lane bridge is there, big bridge is there, 6-lane bridge is there. So in that bridge, if you see the big girders are there. So if the horizontal member which carries the load from slab to column, if it is a small in size or in residential commercial, we call it as a bridge. But if it is a very large in size for the bridges, we call that as a girder. Girder. Okay, large size beams. In short, to understand, girder. So that girders are made up of pre-stressed concrete, so that they can take that heavy load which is coming on the bridge. So if you see the bridge carries a huge dead load. Its sulfate is very high. Plus, so on that bridge, the live load of traffic is there. Okay, and it is moving. It is not stationary. See, up till now, whatever structures we have analyzed now, on that structures we consider the load as a stationary load. Okay, we design the in DCS1 also we design slab, we design column, we design beams, but on these members we have taken the stationary loads. Okay, now here when you come across such a structure like a bridge, okay, or like a water tank, in water tank also, I will come to water tank later on. In a bridge, what will happen there? Suppose now a bridge is there, or suppose now 2 to 3 kilometer bridge is there. Now, once a vehicle enter in the bridge, it will move with a constant speed or variable speed on that bridge. So it is a moving traffic load which that bridge has to resist. Okay, it is a moving traffic load which that bridge has to resist. So it is not possible for a normal concrete to resist that. Okay, if you use the normal concrete, if you increase the size of the beam, column, anything else, then it is okay, but its life will not be more. Okay, and such a huge structures, at least we design it for 50 years, 100 years. 70, 80, 90 years. That type of duration we will keep in our mind. Okay, so the importance of this chapter are nowadays for the heavy construction like bridge, the pre-stressed concrete is used. Okay, predominantly pre-stressed concrete is used. So in this chapter, you will come to know this. In the water tank also, if you consider the example of the water tank, if a huge water tank is there, I'm not talking about the general ESR, GSR, whatever you are seeing over here in the city and all this thing. Suppose now if you need to design a huge water tank, okay, which is having a large diameter or rectangular tank or whatever it may be, it is not resting on ground. Suppose it is a ESR, it is having also the elevation. Then what will happen? Once you pour the water into the first, it is empty condition is there. Okay, so hydrostatic pressure which is acting there is zero. But slowly when you pour the drop the water into that by pumping system or whatever it may be, when the water comes there, it started filling slowly. So gradually, or maybe depending upon the pressure of the water, the hydrostatic pressure is going to be varied. Okay, so while designing that now, there will be the certain stage that it may get some vibrations or some vibrational load also, that type of load also. Okay, or impact load also, because the if you want to fill such a huge water tank, the inlet through which the water is coming into the water tank, the diameter also very huge. Okay, so that water coming into there, it will impact. It will give some impact load also. So in this condition also we go for this stress pump. I hope now very briefly I try to explain you what is the use of this. Okay, importance. So in the importance we will write that nowadays stress concrete nowadays stress concrete is stress concrete is predominantly used in the structures, in the heavy structures like bridges, huge girders, deck slabs, etc. Okay. Hence, hence, the study of hence the study of prestressed concrete is very important. The study of prestressed concrete is very important. Okay, so we have seen that what is the central idea of the subject and that what is the central idea of the chapter, what is the importance of the chapter. Okay, now we will see what are the chapter outcomes. Okay, chapter outcomes. So what you will learn after completion of this chapter. Okay, so after completion after the successful completion of this chapter, student will be able to first thing, student will be able to understand concept of pre-stressed concrete. So you will understand the concept of you will able to understand the concept of pre-stressed concrete. Okay, what is the pre-stressed concrete and why it is required, why it is getting there. Second, you will be able to understand various systems of pre-stressing. Okay, so you will be able to understand various systems of pre-stressing. Also, we are going to talk about why this pre-stressed concrete is required and why it is used. Okay, so now I am having some my notes on this pre-stressed concrete in the PDF form here right now. So I will share that. So it will save also our time, that instead of writing each and everything, I will explain it there on the slide only, and that I will share with you also on the group after the completion. Okay, that notes and also in the teaching diary. So now uh, we will move to these notes. Okay, so this is now introduction to pre-stressed concrete concepts, systems, and methods of pre-stressing that we are going to see. So pre-stressed concrete. Now here you can see the definition. Everything is given. Okay. So the pre-stressed concrete member. So what is the pre-stressed concrete member? Here, a pre-stressed concrete member in a pre-stressed is a member of concrete in which internal stresses are introduced in a planned manner so that the stresses resulting from the loads are counteracted to desired degree. Okay, so these stresses, I have already told you this. Suppose now a beam is there. Now suppose this is a beam. On this beam, the load is acting. Okay, on this beam, the load is acting, and this load produces direct stress as well as bending stress. Okay, so what we will do by some means, आता ते कसं करायचं ह्याच्यावर त्याचा फोकस करू नका. मग ते स्ट्रेस कसं त्याच्यामध्ये केलं जातं, इंट्रोड्यूस कसं केलं जातं, that we will see later on. Don't think about that right now. Right now try to understand the thing is that suppose now this is a beam. On this beam downward load is acting. Okay, on this beam generally downward load is acting. Also the self weight of the beam, which is UDF. So due to this loading, what will happen? So due to this loading, there is a generation of direct stress as well as bending stress. Okay. So in this beam, we introduce the internal stresses in the molecules or in the fibers of this member in such a way that this stress what we have introduced, जो stress आपण introduce केलेला आहे, the stress what we have introduced, it is in the opposite direction to that of the stress which is due to loading. Okay, and so that is why these both stresses are trying to counteract each other. So the net effect is the nullifying effect. Nullifying effect means it is not exactly zero, but it will reduce the stress. Okay, and so indirectly what we are doing, we are increasing the strength of the member by doing this, and this process is known as the this concrete is known as the pre-stressed concrete, and this member is known as the pre-stressed concrete member. Okay, so I will draw one diagram so that you will able to understand this. We will go to the whiteboard. So see, now again, suppose now this is sorry, this is the beam. Okay, this is the beam. Okay, so generally, what we do this thing. Now suppose this is the reinforcement. Normal reinforcement is you left some space for the clear cover at the side and at the bottom also, and then this is your reinforcement. Okay, But while doing this procedure, now what will happen generally? Now, if we talk about the loading, so this is the loading on this beam. This I have shown in as a UDL, which is nothing but dead load, which is also the sulfate of the beam. Suppose now in addition to this, some load is also acting on the beam. So the point load is acting. Now you can see that now you know this very well. Due to this, what will happen? Due to this load, there will be the generation of stresses. And which stresses are introduced? First, direct stress, which is equal to P by A. And second, bending stress will also get introduced. Okay, bending stress, which is PE by Z. Now that is tensile or compressive, that is later part that we will see later on while solving the problem. Okay, for compression we take plus, for tension we take minus, that we will see later on. But understand this, what will happen due to the loading. Okay, now see in the pre-stress concrete what we do. Okay, so in the pre-stress concrete, generally, I will erase this first. So here in the pre-stress concrete, what they have done, these bars, this now if you see this bar, clear cover we left from this side, clear cover we left from this side and from bottom, and then this reinforcement is there. But while introducing the pre-stress, what we will do, we will extend this bar. Okay, generally this bar is extended. Now it is not extended, actually it is kept as it is. A hole is drilled over here and keep a full bar. Okay, keep a full bar like this. Okay, here. And now we will apply the force to this bar. Okay, the force is applied to this bar. Okay. Force is applied. Let this force is P. Okay, let this force is P. So now due to the application of this force, what will happen? The internal stresses are getting developed. See, this is a steel. Okay, this is a steel. If you apply some force on the steel, the molecular structure of that member is going to be changed. Okay, the molecular structure of that member is going to change. Now, if that molecular structure is changed, then the stresses are introduced in that what we can say material. You see, you have learned stress and strain in that. What is the exact meaning of stress? The internal restoring force is the nothing but stress. And why that internal restoring force is getting developed? Because there is a change in the molecular structure. Okay, due to the application of some external agencies, means the external forces. Okay. Now the force is applied in this way, and this force is not manually applied, or there are huge machines called a jacks. Okay, those machines are placed over there, and with the help of those machines, this entire procedure is done. Okay, and then what will happen? The stress is introduced. The stress is getting introduced over here. So here in this tendon, the stress is introduced. Introduced. Okay, if this wire is tensioned, then the stresses is getting introduced over here in this tendon. And through this tendon, now see the concrete is present over here. The concrete is already present over here. So whenever the stress is given to this tendon, the internal restoring force, internal stress is getting developed over here in this tendon or this bar, and that if the concrete and steel are in contact with each other, you know there is a strong bond between steel and concrete. That is why we use steel with the concrete. No? Okay, so that internal restoring force or internal stress is transferred to the concrete, and this is called as the pre-stress concrete. Then this normal concrete becomes as pre-stress concrete. Then this concrete is called as the pre-stress concrete when this stress is transferred to the concrete. Okay, shall I repeat this, or have you understood this? Whatever I have told you just right now, have you understood this, or Shall I repeat it once again? What is exactly? Okay, repeat. I will tell once again. See, listen carefully. Don't think about how the force is applied. Okay. ते कसं करतात ह्याचा आता विचार करू नका. Just try to understand the concept first. The concept is that, see, if pre-stressed concrete beam or pre-stressed concrete member, when you are doing or you are preparing the pre-stressed concrete, it is like a normal procedure only, normal concrete only. Just the difference is that first understand the difference. In the normal member, there is steel and concrete only, that's it. But in the pre-stressed concrete, what is there? The pre-stress is transferred to the concrete through steel. Okay, that is called as internal pre-stressing. Okay, pre-stress is transferred to the concrete. पुन्हा transfer केला जातो तर from steel by using steel. Okay, so steel means tendon. We called it as a tendon or bar. What is the procedure? See, this is the downward load which is acting on this bit. Okay, due to this downward load, you know that you have learned in SOM also, there is a direct stress, bending stress. You know the formula M by I, F upon Y, E by R, all those things are known to you now. Okay, so this is getting generated, you know that. Now what we generally do for normal concrete now, if this this what we can say, this load is acting for the normal concrete, then we need to provide the high diameter, what we can say, we have to increase the number of bars, we have increased the area of steel to resist that. But if you imagine that, see what will happen if this type of stresses are getting developed, bending stress and direct stress, and if something is there within the concrete which internally resists those stresses, okay, or if we able to produce a stress which is exactly in the opposite nature of this developed direct stress and bending stress due to the loading, या लोडिंग मुळे जो काही स्ट्रेस झालेला आहे, सो आपण जर असं करू शकलो की या कॉन्क्रीट मध्ये जर असं आपण स्ट्रेस घालू शकलो की जो स्ट्रेस ह्या लोडिंग मुळे येणाऱ्या स्ट्रेसच्या अपोजिट डायरेक्शनला असेल, ओके, so then it can counteract those stresses. Okay, it can counteract those stresses and our structure will become more, will get more strength, more stable, it can resist more load. That is the concept. Okay, now what we generally do to achieve that? See, first we lay down the formwork. पहिल्यांदा काय केलेलं असतंय, बीमचं फॉर्मवर्क ठेवलेलं असतंय. You know that formwork. These planks are there, wooden planks are there, 2 wooden planks are there, at bottom also wooden plank is there. Now generally what we do, we place the steel bar in that plank. Now this plank is there and we place the steel bar, and it is not now in placing, what we do, those two vertical planks are there, now we drill a hole here and here and we place a complete bar which comes out from the plank. Now suppose this is the plank, like in this way. Okay, I will draw the diagram. Okay, हा तुमचा इथं लाकूड असणार आहे असं plank, wooden plank. Okay, wooden plank, it is like this. Now I have not drawn exactly straight line. Okay, and but the placing of the steel bar is such a way that it will come out of the plank. Now we have not poured the concrete. What I have told you, 2 planks, 3 planks are there. Top plank तर नाही, आपल्याला concrete pour करायला वरचं तर open ठेवावं लागणार. So 2 vertical planks are there, 1 plank is at the bottom, wooden plank is there, formwork, you can say the formwork, and then steel bar is placed. But the thing is that these 2 vertical planks, there is a hole which is made over there so that that steel bar can come out of that plank. Okay, so if this bar is come out, then the concrete is poured and all the things is there, concrete is poured and it is getting hardened. What is done? Concrete is poured into that. Okay, so there is also 2 procedures are there, pre-tensioning and post-tensioning. For your understanding, I am going little bit deep. Then this concrete is poured into here. Okay, after it filled, okay, after it filled, it is kept as it is. Okay, so that the concrete will get hardened, the concrete will get settled down. Okay, after that we apply tension or we apply the force P, or we to this tendon, this bar. Okay, we apply the force and it is applied by using the jack. It is applied by using an instrument which is called as jack, or in some books the word is used jack assembly. With this jack, तुम्ही jack ऐकला असेल की जॅक नाव फोर व्हीलर इन द फोर व्हीलर यू सी दॅट जॅक
कॉम्प्रेसिव्ह लोड कसा अप्लाय करणार आपण?
that is what is I am telling you by using the jack. Jack means what? You may see that assembly is there. Just 1 minute. That is important call. Just 1 minute. Okay. So how that is see there are different types of jacks are available in the market nowadays. Okay. So you can apply the force, you can apply the stress directly also. Okay, here the gauge meter is attached to this jack. You know the gauge meter. You have done the different experiments in the geotech lab also. You in the fluid mechanics lab also. There is a gauge meter. From that gauge meter, we can introduce the stress into this stand. Okay, jack type assembly म्हणजे तुम्ही you can also search on the Google also how it look like jack. You may also see that we use this word jack for that in our four wheeler if it is getting puncture. What we do generally, we use that jack and we lift that vehicle. How do we lift that? Once we different types of jacks are there, but the function of all jack is same to lift that vehicle. Some is having manual rotation, some now the remote control operation system is there, some hydraulic jacks are also there. Okay, so once you try to rotate, once you start rotating that jack paddle, then it will one rod through the jack comes out and it will lift your vehicle. Okay, so while lifting that, what that jack is exactly doing? That jack is applying some force on your vehicle from down to up direction. Okay, and that force is greater than your weight of the vehicle. That is why it is getting lifted. Are you understanding the concept? तुम्ही स्वतः जर हाताने उचलायला गेला तुम्हाला उचलली जाते का फोर व्हीलर पंक्चर झाली तुम्हाला पंक्चर काढायचंय त्या टायर बाजूला काढायसाठी तर तुम्हाला उचलावं लागलं का नाही गाडी ओके तुम्ही जर हाताने उचलायला गेलं तर उचललं जाईल का तुम्हाला नाही जाणार का नाही जाणार तुमचं तेवढी पॉवरच नाही ना whatever force you are applying from downward to upward in this direction that force is not counteracting the force or the dead load of that vehicle. Okay, so you are not able to counteract the stresses and forces of this dead load. Okay, so that is why you use that jack. But that jack is different. We call that as a jack, but it is used only for four wheelers and puncture and all this system. That jack is different. So what I'm trying to tell you, same type of assembly is here in this pre-stressed concrete also. Okay. So that what we will do, we attach here the jack. Okay, and in the books the figure is shown in some way where like that. This is in this way. Okay, something like this, and this is called as jack. Okay. So this type and we attach one plate below this jack. This is called as bearing plate. Bearing plate. Okay, so the purpose of this jack or the work of this jack is that to introduce the stress in this tender. What the purpose of this jack? To introduce the stress in this tender and to up to our desired degree. We study the structure, we see the forces, how it is acting, we see the stresses, how it is generated, what is the actual behavior of the structure, and depending upon that, we decide what how we are going to introduce the stress. Okay, how we are going to introduce the stress into tender. आणि मग अशी मला कोणतरी विचारलं ना की ते आपण फोर्स कसा अप्लाय करतो किंवा स्ट्रेस कसा अप्लाय करतो तर दॅट इज अप्लाइड विथ द हेल्प ऑफ दिस जॅक असेंबली देर इज अ वन सेपरेट असेंबली which is also huge in size which is attached over there to that part and with the using that computer and all these things you know nowadays this technology by using that and we know how much is the stress we want to introduce in the concrete member. After analyzing the structure, we know all the values. Okay, that is input given to that jack. If it is automatic, then through the computer. If it is manually, then the rotation or whatever maybe the system is there. The dial gauges are also there. So that input is given to jack, and that jack introduce the stress in this tender. Okay, and finally, once the stresses are getting introduced in this tendon, when the stresses are coming in this tendon, you see that this is your steel. Okay, and it is surrounded with the concrete. Okay, it is surrounded with the concrete. This thing, you know that. So this is getting transferred to this concrete automatically, because these two are in the contact with each other. ओके, आणि मग जेव्हा हे ट्रान्सफर, हा जो स्ट्रेस आपण जॅकच्या मदतीने त्या टेंडन मध्ये टाकला होता, इंट्रोड्यूस केला होता इन अ प्लॅन्ड मॅनर, डेफिनेशन मध्ये स्वतःच सांगितलं, इन अ प्लॅन्ड मॅनर, जो काय आपण इंट्रोड्यूस केला होता तो स्ट्रेस कुणाला गेला? मग आता तो स्ट्रेस गेला कॉन्क्रीट. दॅट स्ट्रेस इज गेटिंग ट्रान्सफर्ड टू द concrete, and then that concrete is known as the pre-stressed concrete. Are you now it is clear what is the pre-stressed concrete? Okay, and the member which is made up of, आता ही समजा beam आहे, त्या beam ला आपण असं केलं. Suppose now this is a beam and we have done this to beam, then this is called as pre-stressed concrete beam. Okay, and that concrete is called as the pre-stressed concrete. Is it okay? Yes, no? Shall we move further? Are you getting this point? हा, आणि कोणतरी परत मला विचारेल की दुसऱ्या एंडचं काय, ह्याला काय असंच सोडायचं का? ओके, देर मे बी द क्वेश्चन ना, या एंडला तुम्ही जॅक लावला. ओके, यू हॅव व्हॉट वी कॅन से अप्लाय द जॅक ॲट वन एंड. ओके, बट व्हॉट अबाउट दिस अदर एंड? So this other end is fixed to the support. A huge support is given over there, and this tendon is fixed there. Okay, and this support is called as maybe bulkhead, or it is called as abutments. It is called as abutments or bulkheads. ओके, तर इकडे जॅक दोन्हीकडे लावलेलं नसते, लक्षात घ्या. नाहीतर इकडं पण जॅक लावते, तिकडं पण जॅक लावते, तर मग प्रिस्ट्रेस केलं जातंय. असा चुकीचा कॉन्सेप्ट लक्षात ठेवून. ओके, you apply the jack at one of the end, and the function of this jack is, okay, function of the jack is, what is the function of the jack? To introduce the stress in the steel, or to introduce the stress in the tendon. आणि ही सगळं प्रोसिजर झाल्यावरती काय केलं जातंय, तर हे जॅक इथनं रिमूव्ह केलं जातं. ओके, दिस इज गेटिंग रिमूव्ह, दिस ऑल्सो अबॅटमेंट, दिस सपोर्ट इज गेटिंग रिमूव्ह, आणि हे जे टेंडन आहे हे इथनं कट केलं जातं. दिस इज कट डाऊन with the help of cutter from this end. Okay, it is getting cut down with the help of cutter. Okay, तुमचे जे plank असणारे wooden, त्याच्या इथनं ते कट केलं जातं. Okay, and then the formwork will be removed and everything will be removed and all these things, and then it is set as a pre-stressed concrete. समजतंय? इथं तुमच्या लाकडाचे प्लॅंक आहेत ना, मग एकदा का whatever we want to achieve, we are introducing the stress there. So if we achieve the stress to our desired degree, what we want, that is we achieved, then what we do, we remove that jack assembly, we remove one of the support which is abutment or bulkhead, or abutment and bulkhead म्हणजे जास्त काय असं इमॅजिन करू नका, एक स्ट्रॉंग सपोर्ट असतो. Okay, strong support. So that is also removed, and then what we generally do, we remove the formwork also, or we cut down the steel bars, and then we remove the formwork. Then we will see that some portion of the bar still coming out of the concrete, that also we will cut down. Okay, and this type of structure is known, this type of member is known as the pre-stressed concrete member. And from that tendon, this pre-stress is transferred to the concrete, and that concrete is called as the pre-stressed concrete. Pre means म्हणजे before, pre means adi, pre-stressed. Stresses, you know that. Okay, so pre-stress. So we are already giving the stress to that tendon. So this is called as the pre-stress. The pre-stress concrete. This type of concrete is called. Okay, and this method which I have talked about, how it is to be done, that is called as, which is one of the method of internal pre-stressing. Internal pre-stressing means what? We are applying pre-stressing to tendon. Okay, bar. We are not directly applying the pre-stressing to the concrete. We want pre-stressed concrete. Understand this. We want pre-stressed concrete, but we are not directly applying any stresses to concrete. We are applying stresses to tendon, okay, or to the reinforcement or to the bar, and that tendon is transferring that stress to the concrete. Okay, so indirectly we are doing. So it is called as internal pre-stressing. So this your tendon or bar is act as a media, okay, where you are applying that introducing the stress to that tendon and tendon is transferring to the concrete. What is our objective? What is our purpose? We want pre-stressed concrete. I am not saying that it is pre-stressed steel. Have you heard the word pre-stressed steel? It is not the thing like that. There is no concept such concept. Okay, we want pre-stressed concrete, but we are not directly applying the stress to the concrete. We are applying it to the steel, and through the steel it is getting transferred to the concrete. Okay. And after the transfer of that stress, then it is called as pre-stress concrete. आता ह्याच्यात परत कसं आहे की लॉस पण होत आहे. Okay, suppose now with the help of this jack, if I apply a stress of 1000 Newton per mm square to the tendon, to the steel, so what I am expecting now? So from that tendon, 100 kilonewton per meter square stress, of 1000 kilonewton per meter square stress, whatever I have applied, all the 100% is transferred to the concrete, then it is wrong. Okay, some losses are also there in between. Some losses are also there in between. So that we will see in the unit number 7. After this, one more unit is there. After that unit, unit number 7, we will see that what is the losses and what will happen exactly. But whatever I'm trying to tell you, whatever the pre-stress or whatever the stress you are introduced through this jack assembly, 100% that stress is not transferred to the concrete. It may transfer 80%, 90%, 70, 60, 50, 40, 10, 20, whatever it may be. But it is not completely the 100%. Okay. So this is nothing but the stress concrete. So now we will come back to the notes. We will see further what is given. So, okay. So here we will read the definition once again now, so that now you will able to correlate this now this time. Now listen this carefully. A pre-stressed concrete member is a member of a concrete in which, from here the important part starts, in which the internal stresses are introduced in a planned manner, that we have already talked about. Internal stresses are introduced in a planned manner, so that the stresses resulting from the load, that is your direct stress and bending stress, the stresses resulting from the loads are counteracted to desired degree. Okay, are counteracted to our desired degree. Okay, it is not fully nullified, but up to some degree we can decrease their intensity. Okay, so it can be counteracted to the desired degree. This is nothing but your pre-stressed concrete member. Now, next 3 points which I am going to talk about, it says why it is necessary. Okay, what are the defects of the concrete? Why we need the pre-stressed concrete? That I am going to talk about in the next 2-3 points. If you see any point is important, you take the screenshot of this, as well as you can take it as a note. Some points while I am talking, those points are not given in the notes also. Okay, so if you think that that point is important, in better way you take down the note of that. Okay, so now here the concrete has a high compressive strength as compared to its low tensile strength. The first thing you know that concrete is having high compressive strength. The compressive strength of the concrete is very high, but you know that the tensile strength of concrete is very low. That is why we combinedly put steel and concrete in a member. So steel can take the tensile load and concrete can take the compressive. This is the first point. Second point here now you can see. It is not difficult to make a concrete which can have a strength over 40 Newton per mm square on 150 mm cubes after 28 days of curing. Okay, so we can achieve the compressive strength over 40 Newton per mm square. Okay, after 28 days curing. You know that we prepare the cubes 150 by 150 by 150. You have also seen that molds in our concrete lab also, structural lab also. You have seen that molds. You have done the quite of experiments on that also. You prepared that mold and the size of it is 150 by 150 by 150. We prepare the cubes. Okay. So what they are saying here, we can get the strength more than 40 Newton per mm square. But which strength? Compressive strength for the concrete for those 150 mm cube after the 20 days of curing. Okay, this is the point. But it is very difficult to obtain the tensile strength greater than 2.5 Newton per mm square. But for the same concrete, if you can see that it is very difficult to achieve the strength which is greater than 2.5 Newton per mm square. Which strength? Tensile strength. So these 2 points are important. If you see these 2 things here, the tensile strength, it can be asked for the MCQ also. Okay, very low tensile strength and compressive strength over this. Okay, 40 Newton per mm square पेक्षा तुम्हाला जास्त आपल्याला मिळवता येते. ओके, समजलं? मग म्हणूनच हे असा प्रॉब्लेम आहे की वी आर हॅव्हिंग मोर कम्प्रेसिव्ह स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ द कॉन्क्रीट बट लो टेन्साइल स्ट्रेंथ. That is why what we generally do, this is why concrete is reinforced with steel bars in such a direction where the tensile resistance has to be offered. I am talking about normal concrete. See, what is told in this point, we are having high compressive strength of the concrete. We can achieve the compressive strength of the concrete greater than 40 Newton per mm square also. Okay, but concrete is having very low tensile strength. It is not greater than 2.5 Newton per mm square. 2.5 kuta and 40 kuta. Okay, so tensile strength is very very less. Okay, म्हणूनच पुढे काय म्हटलेलं आहे, so that is why the concrete is reinforced with steel bars. Okay, and it is not reinforced with the steel bars everywhere in the concrete. Where it is reinforced, where the tensile resistance has to be offered. Where the tensile resistance has to be offered. Okay, so there these bars we have provided. You generally see that we provide the bars at the bottom of the beam. Why at the bottom of the beam? Due to the downward loading, there will be the sagging of the beam. Okay, sagging will be there. I have drawn this shape also. We have seen this. Sagging of the beam is there in this way. So there is compression at top and tension is at the bottom. So where the tension is there, tension is at the bottom. So at the bottom, we provide the steel reinforcement in the beam. Okay, and at the top, we provide nominal bars, 2 bars of 10 mm or 2 bars of 12 mm. But we design basically steel for the bottom. Okay, at the bottom of the beam. Just 1 minute. You का? आता 12 वाजता मला मीटिंग आहे संपल्यावरती थांब म्हणत आता मेल आलाय जस्ट. आता 11:45 झाले की 12 पर्यंत लेक्चर चाललंय की पीएम पॉवर सरांच्या केबिनला चाललंय आल्यावरती थांब जरा थोडं. आत्ता झाला मेसेज. ओके, पर काय काम असलं तर कोण नाही तोपर्यंत अजून अर्धा तास लागेल संपून सुद्धा मीटिंग हा ये मग आता किती वाजता सांगते एक्झॅक्ट सांगू शकत नाही मी, पण तुम्ही पेपर पाठवलाय ना मला रिसर्च पेपर. ठीक आहे, परत एकदा रिसेंड करून ठेवा तरी इथं आल्यावरती समोर चेक करू 12:30 वगैरे. So you see that there is a tension is at the bottom, so we provide the steel at the bottom. Okay, so now you see further then what is said in the next point. The next point says that in the reinforced concrete members, due to low tensile resistance of concrete, large quantity of steel is provided. बरोबर आहे, आपल्याला स्टीलची क्वांटिटी वाढवावी लागते कारण की जर if the tensile stress is increased, then we need to provide the more number of bars. You see that if our bending moment is more, we provide more area of steel, because in our formula of AST, there is in the formula you know that we 4.6 mu upon FCK BD square. So AST is directly related to bending moment. Okay, and bending moment, how bending moment is nothing but you see that it is sagging or housing, and at the center generally sagging bending moment is there, and if the bending moment increases, naturally your number of bar increases, that is the quantity of steel increases. This is I am talking about normal concrete. So that the entire tensile resistance is offered by the steel reinforcement, and no special means are provided to prevent the concrete offering the tensile stresses. Okay, so all the tensile resistance is provided by the steel. Concrete is not providing any tensile resistance, and we have not also made any arrangement so that the concrete will be able to provide this tensile resistance. Okay, so in the pre-stressed concrete members, all above weaknesses and defects are made up. So last line is important. Whatever we have talked now in last 10-15 minutes in these 2-3 points, all these defects are made up in pre-stressed concrete members. Okay. So that is the need of pre-stressed concrete member. माझं विचारलं need काय? तर हे सगळे प्रॉब्लेम्स आहेत नॉर्मल कॉन्क्रीट मध्ये. To overcome this, we go for pre-stressed concrete member. Okay. So today, right now we will stop over here, and afternoon also I'm going to take one lecture. In that we will cover up the next part. Okay. So whatever I have taught now, please read it before coming to the afternoon lecture so that we will move further. Okay. So just 1 minute. I will take the screenshot of the attendance. Okay. Your BEB. Today is the date 16th November, I think so, no? 16th, 11, 21, BEB division. Okay, just a moment. Almost 43 पर्यंत झाले मस्त आहे त्यानंतर नंबर 59 झाले. Okay, so today we will stop over here. So in the afternoon we will continue.